Okay, hey everyone, Salmin here. Just gonna go over this game against Zinger. So the last move he played was this net, which makes sense. He wants to capture these two stones. So I figure since he's already killed off those two stones, I might as well try and get this move, which expands my corner area a bit and force black to cover the cut here. Though this cut is as if I was black, I'd be asking myself whether or not protecting that cut immediately is the right thing to do. Because let's say I play elsewhere and white tries to take advantage of the cut here to break out of the net, then he'd have to play something like this, and voila, he escapes the net. But the problem for white, I think, is that if black plays this move and then this to squeeze white, this shape that white gets is very inefficient. This dumpling shape. So sure, white gets out, but the shape that he ends up with is very bad. And while black's group is also floating in the center, I think it's easier for black to handle his group than for white to handle his group like this. And furthermore, white would also need to be careful about pushing out like this and forcing black to pushing from behind like this and making black get more territory at the top like this. So overall, I don't think this situation is great for me. So it makes me wonder if I was black, whether or not I'd want to really protect this cut. But regardless, that's what black did. So now these two stones are for sure gone. In the future, I guess I have these forcing moves, but it's gonna be difficult to figure out when these two forcing moves will come in handy. But definitely not now. Something that I'll hold off in the future and see. So locally, I think this was a success for me, but globally, I think this result was successful for me because this corner I get is, I think, bigger than what black gets as influence. But globally, I don't think this situation is too great for me because this 5/5 stone is in such a very strange placement. What I was hoping for in this corner was to get influence of some sort on the outside so that it would work better with this 5/5 combined with the influence I'd get here. But such didn't happen, and what ended up happening was black ended up getting influence on the outside, and I ended up getting territory, which was kind of inevitable because looking at this corner, I mean, it was too hard to resist. So now I need to figure out exactly how I need to use this 5/5 stone to kind of make it more useful again. So I mentioned in my other videos that it takes 3 moves to really enclose this corner of using the 5/5. One move here and one move here. Similar to how it takes 3 moves to enclose a 4/4, a corner with the 4/4, which is why the 4/4 and the 5/5 aren't really moves used to build territory, especially in the corner, because it takes 3 moves. Whereas if you play a 3/4, you only need one extra move to enclose the territory with a Shimari. Or if you play the 3/3, then with one move you've already enclosed the corner. So the 5/5 and the 4/4 aren't really used to enclose the corner. But looking at this situation, I think if I did end up getting the corner like this would be pretty good for me. Because first of all, this corner, maybe that's not the right word. These 3 stones are well protected, and I want to make sure that black has a hard time utilizing this thickness. So combined with the fact that I get a good amount of points here, I think this result would be bad for black. But as I said, it takes 3 moves, so I can't play 2 moves twice in a row. So one thing I need to ask myself is whether or not I should threaten to enclose the corner with this move or this move. And I think enclosing this way is just a bit better than enclosing this way. Because for one, if black tries to enter, I guess, from this way, he's got support at d10. But more importantly, if he tries to make a move wherever he wants to go in this area, and it turns out I gain thickness with these two stones, the thickness would end up facing a direction that's towards this group here, that's very thick and strong. And I think if I had a choice between thickness that's like this and faces this way, or if I were to play this move and gain thickness that like this that faces this way, both aren't really that great, but I think having it face this way towards d10 is better than having thickness that faces towards this group here, because it's too strong and it's too thick. So I think I'm gonna play here, see how black chooses to approach into this area, or if he plays elsewhere, then I can play like this and enclose a pretty hefty sized corner. So I don't know. I have a really hard time explaining why I think this move is better than this move. The whole thing about thickness facing this direction and facing thickness this direction, just hearing myself, I think just goes to show my understanding of the 5-5 is pretty lackluster. But I really need to figure out a way to use e15 somehow, and I think playing c15 to threaten e17 and forcing black to figure out a way to enter this corner here is better than this. So later on, if black does choose to enter this corner, I can probably express my feelings better with more variations rather than just this these ideas are just out in the air. So I'll wait to see how black approaches this corner, and depending on how he approaches it, I'll figure out moves and try and express my ideas through those moves later. So yeah, thanks for watching.